Blah, blah, blah. What's up, y'all? It's Marcellus Wiley, that dude. Doesn't matter how smart you are in this world if you don't stop and think. And we're about to watch a video from Gillie Da Kid that I don't think he took enough time to stop and think about what he was saying. Some really disturbing things in this video we're about to watch. Now, I enjoy Gillie Da Kid's content, but I don't enjoy these comments. And what was he talking about? What sparked this? Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders both going in the draft. And there's a stark contrast in terms of how they presented themselves throughout this draft process and as prospects. There's a conversation about entitlement when it comes to Shedeur, racism or collusion, why he dropped in the draft to the 5th round. And at the same time, there's an understated tone and conversation about Cam Ward. What am I talking about? Something that Gillie Da Kid should have stopped and thought about, which is this. So this is what's going around. We'll play through this video. But first, it started off with this tweet from ML Football. Trending, new Titans quarterback Cam Ward has gone viral for being the perfect type of person you want as a quarterback. Cam is not a diva, wears a regular plain suit, no flashy jewelry, and is representing his alma mater. Exactly what teams are looking for. No flashy jewelry, no flashy suit, no flashy girlfriend hogging attention, just a regular suit, thin chain, alma mater pen, and his parents by his side. Yeah, he's playing 20 years of pro football. Now, we all understand the racial undertones and some of the cultural undertones that come from that. And clean cut Negro. I know where we're going with that. But we're not going to go there for this video. We're going to let Gillie take us wherever we got to go. Someone responded to that. You probably can't really explain it to someone who isn't black, but man, this is wildly racist. Okay? And LOL. I get where they're coming from. I ain't stupid. But let's listen to this, because Gillie Da Kid ain't stupid either. But did he stop and think? Let's go.
To all my folks out there, right? I just want y'all to know that when you're a black man in America, right, sometimes you get reminders.
Should have stopped right there. Actually, he should have stopped about 5 seconds ago. Everyone in America gets reminders. I'm not trying to negate racism and your personal claims and encounters with racism, but you're not the only one that had to deal with racism, prejudice, bigotry, and black people are certainly not the only ones as well. To make this exclusive conversation is silly. Everyone has to go through hell to get to heaven on earth. Think about it. Whoever you're going to name, they going through it right now. Shoot, you look any level, any race, any conversation about success faces adversity. Continue.
You know what I mean?
No.
As a successful black man in America, I often get reminders. And in the Shedeur Sanders situation, this is just a reminder.
You know what this reminds me of? Of how responsible we need to be with our words, with our content, and how our reactions are when we don't take the time to stop and think. You're really going to try and paint a picture in a draft where Cam Ward was the #1 overall pick who is a black man. And then there's a reminder going to Shedeur Sanders, who's a black man, because he fell to the 5th round. Please explain why. It's going to sound real hypocritical if you're going to base it on color. And so far, your topic sentence was, as a black man in America, which puts it about color. Well, they sure rewarded Cam Ward. Top of the draft, $48 million, etc. You don't have to enslave or imprison black people when you have famous, prominent black figures who build cages around his people all the time. This limiting, damaging mindset, this inferiority complex. I always look out for the boogeyman, the system, the white man, whatever you want to call it. I ain't spooked, but it sounds like I may be by myself.
That you can do everything right in life. You can come from a good family. You could be a good student. You could be a God-fearing kid. You could be a hard worker. You could beat the odds. Your dad could be a Hall of Fame player. So you can beat the odds. You can beat, he ain't his daddy. You can beat all of that growing up. But you still get a reminder.
No one does anything perfectly, so you shouldn't have started that way, Gillie. But more importantly, that's what your daddy did. That's what your family is. The NFL's not drafting you because of your daddy. They're not penalizing you because of your daddy either, if you really want to go there. Here's the next level. If Shedeur was a top prospect in grade potential, they had him off the charts in terms of what his game looked like. It didn't matter if he had a daddy or not, Deion his daddy or not. That dude would have been the pick. But they don't pick you when you're not undeniable. You've been there before, Gillie. Your success came in part because they couldn't take it away from you. It's the same thing with Shedeur. Don't give them something they could take away. Your game, as good as it is, good as it was, wasn't so good, wasn't so great that they couldn't take it away or penalize you. As Kobe Bryant once said, be undeniable. Then all the excuses go out the window.
That you just a nigga, man.
Nah, dog. Nah.
That's it.
Nah.
You just a nigga. We sitting here looking at a public execution going on right in front of our eyes.
Okay, I could abort this video right now because what are you talking about? The dude got picked higher than Tom Brady. You talking about a public execution off of expectations that weren't even accurate unless you knew where to look and where to listen because everyone was suppressing their thoughts, wasn't saying it with their chests, wasn't giving you proper evaluation. And if they were saying anonymously because they were scared of all the backlash. Well, all you're doing is lying to Shedeur. And if you don't call it real right now, Gillie, you lying to the next prospect who may think it's all Gucci. It's sweet out here to do whatever I want to do, not talk to the teams, interview where I want to, interview how I want to, and don't play the draft process like it is a job interview. Do it. I came out with Orlando Pace. He didn't do anything at the combine when I saw it, but he was Orlando Pace. He didn't have to. And there have been others, black and white. You ain't got to do it. If you got what they need, you can do what you want. But he couldn't. And this is not helping him understand what he needs to do.
Where it's like, we just got to remind you that you just a nigga.
We got to remind you that you ain't as good as you acting. What's so hard about saying it? Dog, you know how many times I have not been the man and realized, when I left Buffalo to go to San Diego, I was the man. I could do what I wanted to. Don't let me flip this camera around and show you some of these articles. I could, cover of Sports Illustrated, all this stuff, craziness. I was the dude. When I left Dallas to go to Jacksonville, I was looking around like, y'all hungry? Anybody need anything? You better know who you are. Have some self-awareness, partner.
There's no other way to look at it. There's a lot of black analysts on TV.
Oh, here we go.
But they got to keep it corporate.
That's real.
They can't say what it is.
They can, but they scared.
They got to keep it corporate. I just think this is unbelievable. It's just, sometimes as a black man in America, you get reminded that you just a nigga.
So what happens to the white guys who drop in the draft? What happens to the white guys who win the Heisman or thought to be high draft picks and they don't? What word are we going to call them? Mm-hmm.
Don't matter how much work you put in. Don't matter. None of that don't matter.
It does.
You got to understand.
It does matter.
I arrived at a hotel in Boston, right?
Uh-oh.
And I get to the front desk and I say, is there any way I could get a suite? And this lady looked at me and she said, I'm sorry. She didn't press one button. She says, I'm sorry, it's no suites in the building. They're all sold out. As she's saying it, a white man is walking out the back. As she said, Gillie, oh man, I love you. Man, I love what you do for the community, man. You're a great guy. She handed me my room key. I get up to my floor. When the elevator opened, the white guy's on my floor. And he says, Gillie, I don't know why she told you there's no suites available. Every suite in the building is open, Gillie. Come back downstairs, man. We're going to put you in a suite. But it was just a reminder that you just a nigga. That lady looked at me and said, there's no suites. Before I make this hotel thousands of dollars, I would rather your black ass not be in a suite. So in life, you get reminded sometimes that you just a nigga. No matter how much work you put in, how much good you do, no, you're just a nigga.
It's almost laughable now. I don't know about that story. Look, I wasn't there, so I ain't gonna say it didn't happen. And I'm not gonna say there ain't racist people in this world, but I don't know. I'm only gonna talk about what I do know. And what I do know is I watched Shedeur Sanders in the draft. I watched Shedeur Sanders in the draft process. I watched him play at Colorado. I watched him play at Jackson State. And if you did as well, you would give him a little more sage advice. You would tell him straight up, big dog, no matter how good you are, no matter how great you think you are, like any marketplace, like anything of value is what they think of you, what they gonna pay for it. And you gotta put yourself in that position, and in the best position. I think Shedeur gets it. He's already changed his tune since he slipped in the draft. Shiloh has changed his tune and switched from his dad leading his prospect into the NFL to now he has an agent, Drew Rosenhaus. They did it wrong. It's okay, man. We all misplay our cards different times. Not always for the world to see, but we all misplace our hands, man. But the last thing you need for somebody to do is to lie to you about that process, because you won't gain from it. And worse, the next generation won't learn from it. So, Gillie, I respect your grind. Gillie, I like your content. Gillie, I hated that video. But all love, big dog. Since you rap, I'm gonna let you know what I do to bring a little levity to the situation so you know it ain't no beef. For real. I flow too. Well, you ain't the only one. I got them things too, boy. Let's go get that. Hey, let's go get this. Hey, tell me how I flow though. I ain't like your video, but tell me if you like my flows, Gillie. It's all good. I'm gonna go get this thing. Check this out. Yo, Gillie talking loud, saying you just the N-word. No matter your success, your crib, your network, saying you could ball, build, floss, and pray. Still, this country gon' treat your ass only one way. What? Man, stop that crying. That mindset weak. Got kings in the boardroom and on Wall Street. Obama ran the show. Jay got the keys. Braun built a school. Tyler Perry got degrees. Come on. You can stay stuck if you buy that script. But I ain't let no label get that tight on my wrist. Nah, I ain't trapped. Ain't stuck in their frame. I'm bigger than they box. They ain't handling my name. Woo! Yelling you just the end. Bro, stop. That's lazy. Got billionaires out here grinding like crazy. If they remind you, cool, remind them back. You looking at a king inside a Maybach. You can't limit what God done blessed. You think they power's bigger? Man, you stressed. Tell them, Gillie, nah. Tell them you free. Cause success hit different when you move like me, G. Ooh, you can stay stuck by that script. Stop that talk, man. Close your lip. You a boss. You a legend. You a man of your own. Not just a word that they throw like stones. They can talk. They can hate. They can label and trip. But kings don't trip. We just tighten our grip. Voila! Go get that thing, boy. You know what I'm saying, boy. Young man, boy.
It's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here. Because I think the birds.
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.